Good morning, you guys. So, yesterday was quite a long day. Like, I hurt so bad yesterday. It was ridiculous. I made a weird sound. So, Mom wanted to go shopping, and so we ended up going up to the mall in the big town an hour away from us. And I'm uncomfortable. And we didn't go to Kohl's. We went to the mall, and we went to several places in the mall, walked quite a bit of the mall. We actually ended up there before most of the shops were open, so we had to wait for shops to open. And then Anthony forced me to go into Tmobile, which, if you guys ever followed me on Twitter or some of the issues I've had, it is a long-standing issue with this company, but they are the cheapest as of right now. I didn't want to go in because honestly, I just wanted to change. I'm on tier 1, and according to them, it depends on who you talk to. The tier 4 was the best, but I'm being told yesterday it was the opposite. Tier 1 is the best that they have. Anything over $700 or $750, that you have to pay the difference, which is a security measure because it's an expensive phone, and if someone faults on it, then you're out, all of that money. So I was like, did I not have a green light? Because the people going the other way were not moving. Anyway, so he says I'm on the best one. I wanted the Note 10, and I ended up with the OnePlus 7 Pro, and so far I'm really liking it, and I have been a Samsung person for many years. It is easy, and I find the screen looks better than my Note 8. I didn't turn in my Note 8 because it's $86, and my phone's worth far more than that. So I'm going to put it on eBay, and I'm going to sell all of the cases that go with it. But this one has a cool, the camera doesn't have a front one, so it's not taking away from the screen. It pops out of the top of your phone. So it's gonna run us, I had to pay $100 and something yesterday, so the taxes, oh, and I got a case. It's gonna run us $30 a month, which isn't bad. Here's the case. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's multicolored, and it's a really nice phone so far. Last night I charged it to 100%, and then I turned it off for the night, and I think I actually might start doing that. I did have trouble transferring stuff, but I was using Samsung Smart Switch, I think is what it was. And so we switched to the OnePlus Switch or whatever it is. I don't know the names exactly, but we're gonna switch it. We switched it with that, and it actually worked. Some of it did go across, some of it didn't, so I can't put a memory card in this. That is the only downfall. And you can't wirelessly charge, but I'm not a big wirelessly charging person. I just plug it in and walk away. I don't play with it on the charger, and then when I do, it's far too much. And that's how you break the internal cable, or the internal whatever charge point. So I try not to do that. I only have half a tank. I was like, I need gas. Oh no, I have half a tank. So we did that. Mom was over at Old Navy, and excuse me. And then we went to JCPenney's. And then they were having this like really good sale. It's buy one pair of boots and get 2 for free. And so I ended up picking out all of Mom's boots. We did go through quite a bit that she was like, I like them. I was like, but would you wear them? No, then don't get them. So she got 3 pairs of boots. What did she say? 90 bucks? It was like 30 bucks a pair. And that is really good considering sometimes you would pay more than that at Payless. I miss Payless. But they're nice boots. I think one of them was St. John's Wort. I'm just kidding. It's like St. John something. They have a clothing line too. So when Mom Joni and I had gone to the mall, she's like, what is she looking for? Because they have them at JCPenney. They have the name brand on the wall, like high up so you can see it. And so I was like, St. John's Wort. And so I said it enough that Joni was actually looking for St. John's Wort. I was like, you didn't know that there was a vitamin? Because she was like, are we really looking for St. John's Wort? Mom's like, no. I don't know. It's like St. John's Bay or something. I don't know. And so one of them was that company, and there was 2 other companies I hadn't heard of. They were really cute. And they were the little ankle boots. And then she had one pair that went almost all the way up to her knee. The one she wanted was over $100, and on their website they did not have the sale. My ears are popping. So she was like, I'll just do it when I get home. And we saw an associate, and I was like, is this deal online? She's like, no, it's only in store. And I was like, Mom, it's only in store. That would be silly. And so we stuck around, and it was crazy. Like, everybody got the memo that this sale was going on but us. And so finding a place to sit, all of that. And then Anthony, before we went over to JCPenney, talked me into going into Torrid, which is just wrong. So a $400 order, because I am a club member and I have a card through them, I only spent $153, which is more compounded considering I got like 5 pairs of jeans, and then I got this Bambi, like the character Bambi perfume, a roll-on one. Lex loves the roll-ons, and she was almost out of the one I got from the company that I work with. And yeah, I was just like, well, it's on sale, it's already on clearance, so I'm gonna get it. So that one was fairly cheap, but they had a buy one get one free going on, and all I need is jeans. I don't necessarily need shirts right now. There was some really cute ones, and then there was this, is it a bomber jacket? No, that's not right. It's like the football player, you know, jackets, and maybe those are bomber jackets. Anyway, so they had one, it was black, and the 4 just felt too tight across the shoulders when I picked it up. Like, and then I tried it on, I was like, okay, this I could wear. And then I went, I could never button it up. It would go across my tummy. It was not going across my chest. I was like, oh, this is the only thing. And then I have to go up in a size, and then they look dumpy. There's no happy medium. So then we went to JCPenney's, and then from there, what did we do? So we found a new store, and it's like in home or something, and Mom found out they were hiring, so she's like on the side of a, what are those really big, a semi, like the back end of it is an advertisement, so Mom's gonna apply for there. And I was like, in home, I don't know what this place is, never been there. So if you guys have been watching, I am really sensitive to smells. I don't know what it is. I saw candles, there were waxes, this whole section, I almost threw up. This was after lunch. I was already stuffed, and I thought I was going to be sick. And so I had to cover my face and walk past it as quickly as I could. I'm already sore at this point. The walk through the mall and stuff, I'm hurting. And so I get through there. They have quite the selection of photos. You can get frames, and they're like very organized, which I love. And what I really love is the fact that we got to the pillow section and everything is by color. So I have been looking for red pillows, and I found like a whole wall of red pillows, but the prices were, I just think they're a little ridiculous. It was a medium-sized pillow. It was like a toss for, I guess you could put it on a bed, but what I want it for is the couch. And it literally was $15, and then I found a buffalo plaid, like in the colors I have for my curtains and everything. And I was like, oh yes. And this was a much smaller pillow, and they had like fur on the sides. I was like, okay, I could do without the fur, but it was brown, and it kind of brought in the wood that I have by the kitchen table, the brown of my couches. I was like, okay, flip it over. That one's also $15. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't love it that much. And then, wait, Anthony, he was like, well, we're gonna end up with it anyway. And so I was like, okay, one, I didn't want to pay that much, and two, now it's out of principle, I'm putting it back. Or spite, whatever you want to take it as. But I was telling Mom, and I did grab, I think I bought 3 things or 2 things. I think we got 2. We got a baking rack with the small little squares, not just lines, because I went to make char siu, and they recommend you put it on a rack. Well, I just went to the dollar store and got some crappy one that goes on the barbecue, and I was like, if I can put it on the barbecue, I can put it in the oven. And it worked out. I just flipped it upside down so it was suspended so the air could get under it. I'm thinking that's the logic. And so we do that, and then so I went and got that one. And then Anthony finds this one, it's like 24 cupcake pan. And I was like, oh no. And it's like hecka cheap. Believe it or not, I think that one was $14.99 also. Anyway, but I was like, okay, no, I need this. Because I do, every once in a while, cook a lot of cupcakes. And it'd be nice to have a pan that had that many, so I wasn't doing 4 pans. I could do 3 pans, technically now, because I only grabbed 1. But I think the rack was like $7.99 or $9.99. It wasn't very expensive. They had some pretty dishes. They had some really cute stuff. And it's just very organized, which, like I said, appreciate it. And so, but, so we were at the thing and we were talking about the pillows, and I was like, realistically, I've gone on Amazon and I can get a cover and get it the way I want it, and it's $17.99 for 3 covers. Yes, I have to buy a pillow, but I feel like that's a little cheaper.
Morning.
Morning.
What can we get you?
Yogi extra peanut butter 1 shot, medium.
Medium?
Yeah. Freezing.
Just $5.45. Thank you. There you go.
Ouch. It is cold today. It is 43 at 10:30, so it could warm up. Yesterday, JCPenney's was hot, and I think it was body-wise only. We walked out and it was like a shock. And of course, JCPenney's is like clear across the place from where we were parked. We had to go to one of the entrance because you can get in through the store. No. Thank you. Much better. So I came here on my birthday and got a free one. And I didn't care for it. I don't know if it was my stomach or something. But I was not feeling it. Okay. So now we are headed to Walmart to get a grocery order that I placed last night because we are out of cereal. And literally, I was at Walmart yesterday because Lex needed a heating pad. And then I forgot she needed other girly stuff. And I remembered as we're like 3 miles from the Walmart I was just at. And I was like, I am batting 1,000. I'll just go to Rite Aid. So here's the weird thing. We're pulling up and we see this kid sit down beer, a guy who works there, and put his hands up. Laughing, crosses the street, guy grabs the beer, we let him cross in front of us, because I was just gonna go pull in. And I was like, must have been a beer run. And so we go in. I was like, Mom and I went in, and I was like, gee, I wonder, but it looked very apparent. And so we go to check out after finding and discussing whatever I thought Lex needed because she wasn't very specific. So we go up and I look up and that kid is trying to come into the store again. I was like, what the heck? And we had heard some other kids. I think they're kids. Anyone younger than me is a kid. But the guy was like 7 foot tall. He could have been 20 something. He's still a kid to me. Anyway, so they're talking about it. Well, we make our way to the front. We get to the cashier. And I was like, you know that kid that just robbed you for beer? She's like, yeah. He's trying to come into the store. And they're automatic doors, so they're letting him in. But he's not getting past the second set of doors. And she's like, what? And she turns. And so she tells the manager. And the manager's like, I didn't call the cops on him. And he came back. I was nice. And I was like, oh my goodness. That kid has some cojones. I was like, yeah. And mom's like, you should call the cops. Because it's ridiculous. So, that tall guy, who I think is just a customer because he's not dressed like anyone from Rite Aid, tells the kid, you need to leave. And so we're walking out. And so he kicks the, I don't know if it was a planter or smoker's planter looking thing, you know, how it looks like a planter in the bottom and then it comes up to a thin spout and you can drop your cigarettes in it. Well, he kicks the living crap out of it. It breaks. The other girl who walked out with us, not the one we told, but another one, so she sees him, so they call someone else in their store, and he was like a bigger guy, like we're getting back up at this point, but he walks out and he tells the kid he needs to leave. Well, we're getting in the car at this point, so we don't catch that interaction. We've already caught the tall guy telling the kid who just robbed Rite Aid, you need to leave. We get in and I was like, Anthony, did you see he like literally came back? He's like, yeah, these kids these days, because he looks fairly young. So it's warm in the car, so I rolled down my window and we're headed out. There's only like one way out unless you want to go through drive-through and not need medication. They are on the curb. So the parking lot's behind them. The normal street for normal people who rob them can stay off of. They're on the sidewalk. So he's technically not on Rite Aid, and he keeps like coming at this dude. Well, the tall dude comes out at this point and he's trying to break it up because it looks like there's about to be a fight. Because the guy's like, you can't be here. He's like, I need to call my mom to get home to my town. And he's like going off. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And he's like, why you gotta come at me, bro? Throws his sweater off, the whole nine. I was just like, goodness. I should probably check in. I'll check in when I get there. Anyway, and so he's like, we're being nice and we're allowing you to leave. You might want to just do that. And and I do know that he told the guy who worked at Rite Aid that the tall guy, he was like, I told him what I was gonna do, and the guy's like, no you didn't. And I was like, either y'all plan to jack the beer or he's working alone and now just trying to get someone else in trouble with him. And I don't know what happened because we left. They really should have called the cops. I understand the sediment is there. That's great. Is that the word I want? Anyway, but there's just so many things that, you know, you can't be so lenient on. I know you don't want to ruin someone's livelihood, but if you're going into a store with the intent to steal beer, then you're trying to ruin your own life. It's like the town I actually currently am in, we made the national news, even like on not The View, The Talk? Nope. Probably though, but I don't watch it. Anyway, it's the one with Tamara and Jeannie and all of them. National. A mother turned in her son because he had planned on shooting up the school. Actually, I am behind it currently. And she turned him in, and it's just like, it's scary. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, what happens if that mom was like, no, I don't want to ruin his life. You know, I won't say anything. that's scary because that could have been a lot of people who died. And so she had to decide what was a greater good. Like, and I feel that she was protecting her own child. Like, he needs help. If he's in that bad of a way, he needed a lot of help that she couldn't provide him. And that's like, I've told you before, I had that friend who has mental illness, and because no one checking in. Oh, I don't even knew where I was. It's a gray color. Anyway, with her, you know, everyone just kind of laughed it off or ignored it, and she's currently in a mental hospital for the 4th time in a year because she lost it again, and because she's, so I don't know if you can hear that, but that's at that high school. She's just getting worse, more manic, lashing out more, getting more violent. And it's not going to be good. And so because who she's with is just making excuses for the behavior, she's not doing really good. And she's going to end up hurting herself or someone else. And we thought at one point she was going to end up hurting someone else. Anyway, so yeah. I'm here. I'm going to pick up my groceries and I'm going to go home. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.